Hello, you are watching Shalom World News. I'm Rory McLennan coming to you from Glasgow, Scotland. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. Expressing concern over the recent clashes in Jerusalem, the Holy Father has urged everyone to seek shared solutions to recognise and respect diverse identities. Concluding his Regina Caeli address on May the 9th, the Holy Father prayed for Jerusalem so that it will be a place of encounter and not of violent clashes. The Pope said that Jerusalem is a place of prayer and peace, and he invited everyone to explore shared solutions so that the multi-religious and multicultural identity of the Holy City is respected and brotherhood can prevail. The Holy Father also said that violence only breeds violence. There was a series of clashes in the city between Palestinians and Israeli security forces amid tensions over a verdict regarding the eviction of some Palestinians from the Sheikh Jarrah neighbourhood. The Catholic bishops of Nigeria have warned of an imminent collapse of the nation if the president does not convene a national conference to implement restructuring and devolution of power. In a statement signed by Archbishop Augustine Obiora Akubeze of Benin City, who heads the National Episcopal Conference, the prelates expressed concern over attacks on police stations and military barracks, abduction of university students, destruction of farmlands, and rampant unemployment. On May the 5th, a group of university students was abducted by an armed gang in the southeast of the country. The bishops said in the statement that Nigerians are tired of hearing of bandits kidnapping youths and executing some of them, while keeping the rest to bargain for ransom. The nation is plagued by rising Islamist extremism and the proliferation of armed gangs that engage in kidnapping and extortion. The European branch of international Catholic aid organisation CARITAS has called for safe and unhindered access to the needy people in eastern Ukraine, which is the epicentre of a conflict. A delegation of CARITAS EUROPA, which comprises 49 humanitarian organisations in Europe, recently visited eastern Ukraine, where pro-Russia separatist groups have been engaged in sporadic armed conflicts with Ukrainian troops since 2014. Members of the delegation have expressed concern over the growing hostilities which have affected around 500,000 people, and they fear it might expand across a wider area. President of Caritas Europa Monsignor Michael Landau has said that these ceasefire violations and the COVID-19 pandemic have aggravated the vulnerability of people in need, putting their safety and welfare in jeopardy. The priest said there is an immediate need for food supplies and medicines in the region. In what could be described as one of the biggest pro-life events in Australia, hundreds of people assembled in the heart of Brisbane in the state of Queensland to take part in the March for Life rally on Saturday, May the 8th. Pro-life supporters voiced their protest against the state's abortion laws, as well as measures to introduce legislation to allow voluntary assisted dying. Addressing supporters outside the Queensland Parliament, Senator Matt Canavan said pregnancies are being terminated on the basis of gender, adding that he would introduce a bill to oppose the practice, which is being funded by Medicare, a national health insurance scheme. Speaking at the rally, Federal Assistant Minister for Women Amanda Stoker said that those who champion the cause of humane treatment of animals nevertheless often oppose pro-life initiatives. Italian judge Rosario Livatino, who was killed by the MAFIA in hatred of the faith in 1990, was beatified on Sunday in the Cathedral of Agrigento in Sicily. After the Regina Caeli prayer on Sunday, Pope Francis described the judge as a martyr of justice and faith. The Holy Father said that in his service to the community as an upright judge, Livatino never allowed himself to be corrupted. The Holy Father urged magistrates and judges to follow the example set by Blessed Livatino, to be loyal defenders of the law and liberty. The beatification ceremony was presided over by Cardinal Marcello Semeraro, prefect of the Congregation for the Causes of Saints. Livatino invited the ire of the Mafia for the bold conviction of senior figures in organised crime. He was killed by henchmen of the Mafia on September the 21st in 1990 while travelling to court. Acts of vandalism targeting Catholic churches and statues are continuing in the United States, and the latest incident took place in Waltham in Massachusetts, where a statue of Jesus was vandalized during this last weekend. The statue of the Sacred Heart outside the Church of St. Charles Borromeo was found beheaded. The vicar said this is the second attack on a Catholic facility in Waltham this year. On Good Friday, an abandoned Catholic chapel was set on fire. According to the Committee for Religious Liberty, it's among one of the more than 60 acts of vandalism reported at Catholic churches across the country since 2020. Similarly, in the city of Brooklyn in the US, a statue of a Polish Catholic hero who opposed communist tyranny has been vandalized. The statue of Blessed Jerzy Popieluszko, who was the chaplain of the anti-communist solidarity movement in Poland, was found vandalized in a park in Greenpoint last week. Brooklyn Bishop Nicholas DiMarzio condemned the act and urged the police to classify it as a hate crime. The prelate said it is disheartening that the statue of a man who devoted his life to the advancement of freedom has been vandalized. Ordained at the age of 24, Father Popieluszko spread his message of non-violent struggle through Radio Free Europe. He was arrested by communist authorities on October the 19th in 1984 and beaten to death. His body was later thrown into the Vistula River. Pope Benedict XVI beatified him in 2009. The debate over whether or not Holy Communion should be denied to politicians supporting abortion has intensified, with the Bishop of Phoenix Diocese stating that such leaders should be denied communion. Bishop Thomas Olmsted has expressed support for Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone of San Francisco, who said in a recent letter that Catholics cooperating with abortion should not receive communion. Bishop Olmsted said that prelates should speak clearly about the grave evil of abortion. The Bishop of Phoenix also said the Archbishop's letter was a powerful defense of the Church's teaching on the dignity of all human life. Referring to bishops who do not denounce abortion and Catholics who support it, Bishop Olmsted condemned what he called a false patience and pastoral concern that stays silent when the slaughter continues. He said that reluctance to denounce it is a pastoral failure. And those are your latest headlines. Do join us again tomorrow. In the meantime, you can visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.